So yeah, no, it's really
Yeah, I mean,
important.
this is I think something that comes up a lot when you're trying to do redesigns. My personal design
Yeah,
philosophy has always been like less is more. I'm like a big believer in that, where it's like, try to cut as much waste as possible, use negative space, use white space, etc. I struggle with this one. I don't take it as like a hard and fast rule. I typically actually like the combination of icons plus text, with the
yeah,
exception of the hamburger menu. I don't like labeling the hamburger menu just because I feel it's one of the most universally known icons. So I kind of break my own
yeah.
rules where if you have a horizontal menu at the bottom, and you have like different icons, which I always think labeling icons is a good idea because what you think is a house could mean completely something different, similar to the Japanese vending machine example and the search looking like a racket or a paddle. So yeah, so I mean,
Absolutely.
that's my rule of thumb is basically like label icons everywhere with the exception of the hamburger menu. I'm not saying that's the right way. That's just my personal philosophy of what I've done in the past.
Yeah, with the hamburger menu one, it's like there was a rule going about, I think it was like 2015, 16 times where they said users don't really understand the hamburger menu. And so like the BBC started writing menu there as well. The problem is when you add stuff to like mobile design, like in mobile design context, it looks really ugly. And then that's the challenge that designers have is like usability versus something that looks like sophisticated, which is why the hamburger icon works so well. Um, but yeah, I think there may be a point where it's quite universal. The other thing though is I think when you put stuff behind a menu, like anything you hide will not be seen. And you have to assume like if you want users to tap or click on something, you have to make it as visible to the person. The most obvious thing always works. So I remember a while back I was doing some consulting for like Red Bull, and they had like an app. It was like a video. It was like a viral video app where people would share videos of themselves, and it will do battles. It doesn't exist anymore, and they were trying to get people to just engage with it. And I said the problem is with your designs is all of the icons which are tappable are really transparent, so no one knows that they're actually call to actions. Make it ugly, as it were. Make it really obvious that these are call to actions. And suddenly, when they did that, like engagement shot up by about 15% from what I can remember. Um, so it's like you have to make these things obvious. People, if they don't know, they won't click, or they'll, people have this weird relationship with technology. If I tap this button, I might break it. The advantage to iconography is muscle memory. The first time a user sees something, they'll tap on it. They're trying to figure out what it is. The second time they'll see it, so they'll read the text the first time and they'll understand the icon. The second time, muscle memory, they'll see the image, they'll process it much more quicker. And so iconography is good in that way once the user understands what each symbol means. The challenge is in the beginning when the user first comes to a site. The other thing is international audience. If your audience is quite large, the same metaphors might not translate, hence the ping pong paddle and the magnifying glass. So you always have to be careful. But yeah, elegance, especially when you're on mobile sites, it's a challenge. Which is why sometimes, so like in with material design, they'll do like the active state has the label and the icon as a kind of balance between those things. But the most important thing is always put in front of your users.